Hello, Ray Phoenix here, and this is Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, the video game for the Game Boy Advance. This game's actually pretty good. It's a lot better than its home console counterpart. There is a Star Wars Episode 3 game on the Ps2 and Xbox, which is nowhere near as good. This game's really awesome. It really has that 90s vibe to it. That vibe of those 90s beat-em-up brawler games. Much like Final Fight, Streets of Rage, Captain Commando, you know the games. There's a lot like that. It's that same play. And it's really fun too. It's really good Star Wars fun where you have a lightsaber and force powers, and you fight bad guys, destroy bad guys. Mostly battle droids though, and later in the game, clone troopers. They do fight a lot of battle droids in this game, because you know, battle droids, they're pathetically weak in the movies. Even George Lucas admitted in a documentary in Star Wars Episode 1 that battle droids are pretty useless, which they are pretty much useless. I could get through them easy. Lightsabers could cut through them like a knife could cut through butter. Of course, they're not exactly made like that in this game. It's a video game, they want to make it challenging. Different types of battle droids too in this game, different types of enemies. It's good to give you a good variety of enemies. It's also very fast-paced too, if you know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. I've played this game millions of times before, so I know this game pretty well. I know how to get through this game pretty well. I mean, I know where everything is and could run through it easy. But that's not the case for every level of the game. This game does get pretty difficult in the later levels, and you have to fight clone troopers and other evil bad guys, things like that, in caves and things like that. There's lightsaber duels in this game too, which actually is more like a fighting game than I play. It's kind of like Battle Arena to Shinden, or something like that, the way to play. It's like a fighting game with weapons, basically, in the lightsaber duel parts, which is pretty cool. You'll see one eventually, but you know, it's pretty cool how they did that in this game too. And this is one of the better, this probably is the best Star Wars game on the Game Boy Advance, actually. It's a lot better than the Star Wars Episode 2 video game on the Game Boy Advance. That game was downright awful. That was garbage. It was just like that Batman Forever game on the SNES and Sega Genesis. You know that Batman Forever game, that game that had the Mortal Kombat engine in it? They used the Mortal Kombat engine in Star Wars Episode 2 for the Game Boy Advance. Which, as you can probably guess, didn't work very well, and that's why that game sucks. Just like the movie it was based on, it sucks, according to most popular opinions. And also there's another Star Wars game on the Game Boy Advance called Star Wars: A New Droid Army, which wasn't really good at all. It was like a Star Wars RPG kind of game, but again, that game sucked too. That's not much fun you can have. Unless you're like a 5-year-old that's crazy about Star Wars, and just like having a lightsaber and killing stuff, yeah, you might like that game, but so you're not some young idiot kid, yeah, you're probably not going to like it very much. And there was a game called Star Wars Flight of the Falcon, which didn't really work very well. It pushed the limits of the Game Boy Advance too much. And there was Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles in the system, which wasn't very good. Some people argue if the home console version was good or not. And then there was Star Wars Trilogy Apprentice of the Force of the Game Boy Advance, which is basically like Super Star Wars in the SNES, only better. It was actually better than Super Star Wars. I might make a video of that game eventually. Or for all the bad Star Wars games in the Game Boy Advance, I'm probably not gonna. Well, I don't know, I might play them eventually. I don't know. Let me know if you're interested in seeing me play those. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing me ever play any bad Star Wars games in the future. So you come across these enemies off these destroyed starfighter things, and they become walker things with lasers on them. Looks like something that belongs in like some sci-fi movie. Well, hey, it is a sci-fi movie, so I guess it kind of belongs here. Then I guess it's in place. And this game is a lot better in the movie as well than the Star Wars Revenge of the Sith movie, which wasn't that great a movie. I mean, some people say it's the best of the prequels. I don't like it very much. It was the first Star Wars movie to be rated PG-13 as well, so yeah, I didn't like it very much. I mean, it was very dark, unnecessarily dark for Star Wars. I never really thought of Star Wars much as being dark until I saw Revenge of the Sith. I remember watching it. It might as well have been watching in a movie theater. I mean, it wasn't actually in a movie theater. It was in my mom's friend's basement, but it was a big plasma screen TV. And it was on DVD, which was a big deal time. It was one of the first movies that didn't come out on VHS, actually, back in 2005. In 2005, when DVD was cool, and if you watch VHS, it means you're old and you're out of it. It wasn't cool to watch VHS movies back in 2005. But yeah, it was like watching in a movie theater. I mean, when I saw it, it was like, it might as well have been. It's like a home movie theater almost. I wish I could have a theater room like that in my house where I could watch Star Wars movies. I think I've said in a few previous videos of mine, I actually own the original theatrical versions of the Star Wars original trilogy on DVD on its limited release. I'd like to see those in a big theater one day. I hope Disney is successful at acquiring the rights to that footage so they could re-release the original theatrical versions of Star Wars. I'd like to see that. I hope Disney could do something good for once. What am I talking about? Disney's always done stuff good. They've been good with Marvel lately, you know, they've been doing these Marvel movies lately, which are really good too, and they've done good with other stuff too, so, you know, I have faith in Disney. I'm sure they could do really good. You know, I like Disney, you know, I like Mickey Mouse and stuff like that. You've seen some of my other videos. Also, this game is indeed, well, this game is, I keep saying, this game is indeed very entertaining too. If you do get to, like I said, it does really capture what the movie should have been more of, or what the game should have been more of action. You know, a lot of action and battling. There's a reason too why I really liked X-Men Reign of Apocalypse on the Game Boy Advance so much, because X-Men Reign of Apocalypse on the Game Boy Advance is very similar to this, and that game was really fun. It was like a 2001 Game Boy Advance game. The graphics in this game are significantly better. And then again, this game came out in 2005, which was much later in the Game Boy Advance's timeline. It pushes the limitations of the Game Boy Advance in a good way, not in a stupid way like Star Wars Flight of the Falcon did, but this game does it more in a good way. We're actually something the system can handle. This is a genre you don't really see much of anymore nowadays. This genre pretty much died in the 32-bit era. Hasn't really seen much good games since 1995, back when it was still in the era of the SNES and the Sega Genesis. There were a few games like this that were made on the Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance saw a lot of the Game Boy Advance kind of was like, if that makes any sense, kind of was like the last of the old system. I mean, it sounds like those old systems like Sega Genesis and SNES, they had one more chance at making, you know, what their games could have been in the more newer era, and it could have been, and that's what Game Boy Advance was. It was like a Sega Genesis or SNES, but it's portable and it's modern. That's pretty much what it was like with a lot of these games. I think they made a lot of Sonic Advance games through that. This would bring back like the olden days of Sonic. They even ported a lot of SNES games on it too, like Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, the Donkey Kong Country trilogy, Earthworm Jim, and even Doom. They even ported Wolfenstein 3D and Doom onto that system too, which actually turned out to work pretty well for Game Boy Advance. I mean, it's Game Boy Advance, I don't think it'd be good at first-person shooters. I mean, the Sega Genesis wasn't very good at first-person shooters, nor was the SNES. Does that mean the Game Boy Advance is slightly better than the SNES and Genesis? I don't know. Did it have blast processing like Sega Genesis? You know that thing they made up to sell Sega Genesis, blast processing? There's no such thing as blast processing. There never was blast processing, and there never will be blast processing. It's just some made-up term they came up with so you want to buy a Sega Genesis. They didn't even need to do that. I bought a Sega Genesis anyways. They didn't need to fool me with stuff like blast processing. The Genesis is one of the best systems ever. And again, they didn't need to fool us with blast processing. The Game Boy Advance probably is the best portable handheld of all time. I could play this game for hours on end. It really is that fun. This is one of the best Star Wars games too, I think, in my opinion. It really is a really fun game. It really is good. It's better than a lot of other Star Wars games. It's better than a lot of those crappy Star Wars games on the SNES. You know, Super Star Wars. I don't like those games very much. I find they're very unfaithful and untrue to Star Wars. I'm a big fan of Star Wars, and I'm disappointed with those games, so that kind of says a lot. And then there was at least one bad Star Wars game on the Atari 2600. It's called Star Wars Jedi Arena, I think, or Jedi something on the 2600. It's basically an Atari 2600 game that was based on that one scene where Luke is practicing with his lightsaber in the Millennium Falcon, when his lightsaber was like very, very light pale blue, before they digitally remastered it and changed it dark blue. That's what George Lucas is all about. He's all about the computers and making computers make cool things. Hey, look what my computer could do. Is what George Lucas pretty much shows us all the time in the prequel trilogy. Look what my computer could do. My computer is so much better than yours. Yeah, but little does George Lucas know, computers don't make movies. People do. People come up with movies. People write movies. People create movies. People design movies. They design art. They make everything. Not computers. Computers don't do anything, really. They're just programmed by real people to do something when people give them a command to do something. There's no intelligence in a computer. And he's the first boss of the game. You have to fight Count Dooku, and it's like a fighting game from the way it plays. It plays just like a fighting game, with a lightsaber duel, essentially, but it plays just like a fighting game. Much like Battle Arena Toshinden on the Game Boy, it was the easiest fighting game I ever played. People say Super Smash Bros. Is the easiest fighting game ever. Clearly, those people have never played Battle Arena Toshinden on the Game Boy before. If you haven't played that game, you should. It is really fun. It's actually better than the PS1 and Sega Saturn version. on the Bowser Machine on the Game Boy. You shouldn't really expect that much for an original Game Boy game to actually be better than its home console counterpart, actually be more fun and enjoyable. Seems quite odd, but it's true. It very well is true. And I keep saying, the graphics in this game, the graphical presentation of this game looks pretty good too. And at least it doesn't look all pixelated. Things like some other Game Boy Advance games, these digitalized images of what it looked like in a movie. This game doesn't do that. It actually took time and effort to illustrate what the characters actually look like, and actually did a good job of that. I really give them props for that, actually. You give props to people at Ubisoft that made this game. They made a game that was a lot better than its home console counterpart. And this is one of a few times where Game Boy Advance versions of games are actually better than their home console counterparts. The Incredibles video game was like that too. So were a few other games as well, as I may have brought up earlier. And that's the end of this fight. It's going to show the part where Anakin's having trouble deciding if he should kill Dooku or not. He killed Dooku, so yeah, that's how it goes. So this is Ray Phoenix signing out.